right, so welcome everyone. Today we are talking to amazing, beautiful goddess that blow me away and inspire me in every way. I'm gonna actually just hand it off, share a little bit about your story, what got you here, and what got you into manifestation by design, and what turned you on to human design.
Okay, awesome. So I'm Truax, and actually I've known Raquel since we were, oh gosh, probably 20 something years now. And our paths have been super intertwined through our lives since we were very early in our 20s. And now I think I just gave away our age, so I'm super sorry, Raquel.
Yeah, and you were actually earlier in your 20s than I was, but I won't say how many years earlier.
So I can't be that many. But through our paths have kind of intertwined quite a bit from dancing together to graduate school, business, just a lot of things. And so I was turned on to human design from Raquel many years ago. I actually don't even know when. Found out I was an emotional generator. And I've been on a really long spiritual journey my whole life. So I have a lot of practices, and I just started learning and deepening my understanding of my own design over time. And it came to Raquel offering the manifestation by design class at the exact time where I had, I've had an incredible career as a professional dancer. I had built a really fantastic business, lost that business, had to create a new business, went from 6 figures of debt to 7 figures of income, getting out of debt. And through that process, got to a point where I was like, well, now what? What's my purpose? We have 3 kids. I was working through some stuff, relationship with our family. And I told Raquel, I feel like I need to start creating with more intention and purpose, because that's really where I felt like I can manifest instantly. Actually, I can think it and it creates like so fast. It still to this day, like sometimes gives me chills. But in that, how am I creating it with alignment and purpose towards my purpose? And that's really what had inspired me to step into the manifestation by design class, and then to deep dive digger into my own motivation. I think motivation has been one of the big pieces in learning I can't speak, manifesting within my design, but also to understand my own gifts within that and how I can bring more things to the table. This class has been really a key piece of that in my own understanding, where kind of like really discovering my own zone of genius, which has really helped my manifestation process too. It gets a lot clearer and easier. And so it's been a key piece, and I actually really enjoy class every single week, in continuing to create more towards alignment and purpose.
Yeah, so cool. So, do you want to talk a little bit about your business, what you do? What I love so much about watching Tara, and yeah, watching your path and your career, and us kind of like watching each other and going through this like similar path has been so fun. A lot of it was about honestly what you were sharing today about this money piece, and like the wisdom around the money is so huge. And so I would love for you, if you wouldn't mind, talk just a little bit about that, just that wisdom piece around what you've learned, and also the piece of your leadership and how do you bring in human design into working with all your people?
Here's the most fascinating thing. I got chills what you just shared, actually. So one of the most fascinating things is, so I'm a board certified health and wellness coach, and as a personal trainer for over 15 years, had a movement therapy business, and everything involved health and physical wellness. And so I worked as a medical intuitive. I can see body patterns, I can see deficiencies, and it was like a natural gift, but it was never a gift that was inspiring for me at all. I wouldn't carry business cards. I only worked off of referral. It was like a thing I didn't want to do. It was super crazy. And I've worked in health and wellness. I had a health and wellness business. And I moved into a different health and wellness business, where now I've built a multi-million-dollar business in network marketing in the health and wellness space. But it was in this venture that I started to really understand that physical illness was a direct tie to financial illness, which was impacting physical illness. And when I could make that tie, I found all my inspiration in financial wellness. Like I found, like I love helping people through financial limitations and financial limiting beliefs, going from our family as a child being bankrupt, and then my dad leaving and us having nothing and no food, and my mom being a single mom, and going through that process, having no real relationship with money as a teenager or in college, making horrible decisions. Actually, I wrote my story about my personal financial journey and became an international best-selling author in that story. I just found so much like passion with financial wellness, which is super interesting dynamic from my resistance to everything health, which was a natural gift. So that's where my love comes. That's where I love helping people break through their financial limitations, really get into more of a healthy relationship with money, their money story. Because as the more I've personally found that I'm willing to receive, the more I can overflow to others. So it's this dance that I've really found. Now, I love health still. Like my personal physical health is very important to me. But when I have, like, I shouldn't say have to, but when I'm working one-on-one with people in that space, it's not, I don't have that fire. So it's interesting when I learn that in my design, that it's actually in there, that I'm like, oh, well, that makes a lot more sense. Like I have a lot of intuitive gifts. I have that connection, but the inspiration, the passion actually comes with money and business and community, and to be able to build businesses with people globally in alignment, which is huge, which is a big piece of bringing in human design, where I literally was at a retreat last weekend at the table, and I had 9 people sitting around me as I'm pulling their human design charts for them, because, you know, they're into the Enneagram and they're into astrology, they're into all these things. I'm like, come here. Now we're going to get the good stuff. And then they want to know all, because it's so specific. And they can dive in and get so much more than you can on just like, oh, I'm an Enneagram this, or I'm a, you know, just, all the tests that we like to do at colors and all the things. So we use it all the time. And even our corporate staff, like I know all of our corporate staff, what if they're a projector, a manifesting generator, I know all of them. And it's really good, because today actually I needed to take a nap, and one of my best friends is our events coordinator, is a splenic projector, and I was like, wow, I feel like I'm you today. I actually needed to take a nap and I was you. She was like, I own it. I'm a projector. I own it. I know my gifts. But it's really, actually, it's been really helpful too with my family and my children, understanding their design and how I parent them as well. And it's given me a lot more patience, me being an emotional generator and my daughter being a sacral generator, and my husband and 2 boys being projectors. It helps why I get so frustrated with them. Once I understood that. So it has helped a dynamic in a lot of ways. And it's also helped me understand some of my business partners and how I can work with them better too, and support them better in different ways.
Yeah, I love that. I get really turned on when people bring human design into A, parenting, and B, business. Like that to me is just like, okay, that's a game changing. So okay, so my final question for you about the manifestation by design, any ahas you've had throughout the course, any wins you've had throughout the course, and any ways in which, you know, integrating the energy and the sort of the law of attraction type tools into your human design, how that experience has either given you ahas or assisted you in the journey, or anything you want to share about those particular merging of those in this class.
So for me, it's interesting because I have all the motors. It's the exact opposite. So I have all the motors, but I have an open G center, open throat. And so what happens is because I have all the motors, I go do, keep going. And when I feel like I need to rest for whatever reason, I have that inside me that says, no, you have to keep going for whatever reason. Like sitting still or resting or stopping or pausing is just not on the radar. And I then use my identification of what other people are doing for my own identity to like justify that I have to keep going because I'm going off of what everybody else is doing. And the other piece to this whole process for me is, so about 4 years ago, you know, I didn't know how to use my voice, and having an open throat center, it's really interesting because I was a professional dancer because I didn't have to speak. Actually, truly, that was why I chose that career. I didn't have to speak. And moving in the career I have now, which I have to do a lot of public speaking, and during the course of this class, actually spoke on the biggest stages I've ever spoke on, like 4,000 people or something, and then was asked to present again, and then asked to go to Japan and speak. And it's turned into this like snowball. And even understanding within my open throat how that's actually a gift because of the gates that I have that allow me to connect to what people need to hear so I can inspire them. It actually makes me not feel like, because I would speak and be like, I don't know how this stuff is coming out. It's like coming in and out, and I don't know where it's coming from, but it's actually in my design. I'm actually designed to do that. And it's so crazy that for almost 40 years of my life, I didn't speak at all. And I was designed to use my voice to build community, to build groups that align. And that was another piece of the understanding design as a non-specific and specific manifester. So I have always done like vision boards and been very specific. You have to see it. And I do see there has been multiple times in my life where exactly, in fact, even when I was asked to go to Japan, the second I saw the venue, I saw myself there. Like I saw it. I had never been inspired to build a business in Asia or anything, but the second I saw the venue, I saw myself there on the stage and like, oh, I'm going. And then, you know, 2 days later, they asked me to go. I didn't know that I could just see it. That is a little bit different. I think that's more because I have a closed head and a closed anjan versus being specific and non-specific manifester. But because of the vision board thing and because of being so set on goals, I always thought it had to look a certain way. And when I realized I was non-specific, and when I was more of creating for the highest good, things started to speed up. And as they started to speed up, we had a really interesting thing happen during the course of the class, where I walked into a hotel room for my friend's birthday, and I looked out of the window of the floor of my hotel room, and down on the ground from the floor we were on was this giant swimming pool with a giant queue in the swimming pool. And I had that picture on my vision board from, sorry, my dog is going to jump in and come say hi to everyone. She's very excited.
Love you.
She's a puppy, but she's a giant puppy. Hi. Okay.
Hi, cutie. Hi, baby. We love you.
So that I don't think my husband knows we're still recording because
it's okay.
Crazy.
Dogs are part of work from home life.
Just so happy to see me all the time. So the queue, that pool, that exact swimming pool, I had put on my vision board right the month I'd started this business. And so it had been 3.5 years. And I didn't know that that pool even existed. I cut it out of some magazine. I didn't even know. So the fact that I walked into that was staying at that hotel, and that was my view, because the irony of it is 2 months later, I went and stayed at the same hotel with my husband. It's totally not, I don't know what I'm talking about there, with my husband at the same hotel. And I did not have that view. I could not see the swimming pool. So just how everything aligned, I had goosebumps like crazy. It was like, wait a minute, this is on my vision board from when I even, began my business almost 4 years ago. So it was those type of things starting to play out And it just continued to snowball. And I had actually asked Raquel, like, well, that's very specific. And she brought forward more that was more of me being shown I'm on like the sign as a generator, that I got need to wait for the sign to respond, that it's the sign that I am, responding in the right way. Because I ask for signs all the time and then I see them and then I have no idea what they're for all the time. So I have learned that I have to be a little bit more specific in my sign, like what I'm asking for, so that I can take that direction. So I hope that answered the question, but the manifestation by design classes really helped. Oh, the last thing I wanted to mention is understanding in business too, the difference in business, people that build businesses and can sell to their own community, and people that build business and sell to strangers. And once I really understood that we're designed differently to do that, it was a game changer for me to understand how some people can build incredible businesses with a cold market, and how I have to warm up every single person I meet. And I never understood that. And people would always ask me, well, why can't you just go build a cold market? And I just didn't. It just didn't come natural. But I could turn somebody into my friend in 5 minutes and they would be some of my community. And other people couldn't. And once I understood that that was a design, and I could actually pull people's design and be like, I guarantee you're a 5. I could see, oh, you're a 4. Like I could see it. Then it made a lot more sense to me than how I could support them better too. And not tell people to sell a certain way. Because no matter what business you have, you're going to be selling something or marketing something. Whatever platform it is, we all do have to have some sort of marketing behind us. And how we sell is actually really important in our design.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so huge. I gotta say, my very first high-end coach, his big thing was it was your network. It was all about your network is your net worth. And like that to me is like the worst advice. And so I think having that to be able to give to your people, and what she's talking about is combining the human design with the BG5. Just what people listening, it's like how the human design business piece integrates into people's profiles. So I have to talk about what you said for 1 second about your undefined throat and how that operates, because okay, when you were talking, I was getting the whole Japan piece. I'm in this huge celebration about this Japan thing. I don't know why. It makes me so excited for you. Like I'm so excited for you, partly because like as a woman, it's like this piece as a woman, because it's like they chose you, and like it is kind of a masculine driven society, right? So they chose you to be their inspiration and then their spokesperson. That's the undefined throat. See, the fact that you could reach them through your inspiration, that's what the gift, the superpower of the undefined throat is, that any language, any person is going to be able to get that frequency, right? The frequency of the undefined throat, that's its superpower. But before, when she was a dancer and she wasn't able to use her voice, is because that undefined throat is unrecognized until it's for you in response to the right experience, right? So, I mean, it blows me away, and it's so exciting. And it's just been such an honor to watch your growth and your expansion, even though you've been on a path of growth and expansion. Just in this experience, it's been really fun to watch. And I'm so excited about your Japan trip and that you're taking a private plane. I'm sorry I had to add that in because I need people to celebrate that in you.
Well, thank you. Let's anybody that knows people in Asia, Malaysia, Japan, please send them my way. Aligned people. I do have to say, it's interesting because I am the only woman going with our group. And I have a little bit of anxiety about this because, again, men can wear suits and all the things, but I just have a little, they already know who I am, but and the Japanese women, when they were here, we really connected. I spent a lot of time with them. They're so cute. They took lots of pictures, but you know, I have tattoos and I wear bright clothes and very different culturally. But sitting down and having some conversations with some of the women, they said they really felt drawn to me. My video, they feel like a lot of my spiritual beliefs are in line with theirs. They asked me a lot of questions about that. So it's really interesting. I think that that reads through as well. But their vice president, our Japanese vice president, said to me, he said, you know, they really only understood probably about 50% of what you said on stage, because the translator, because I talk really fast. Again, my next thing I'm very concerned about, because I do have to pause for translation when I'm in Japan. He said they only understood about 50%, but the energy you bring and that feeling, that's what they want, because I'm going there to sell our company to Japan. That's why I'm going. I'm going to sell the company. So that is, it's a, like, I get nervous, I get excited, I get all the feelings at once. There's a lot of pieces to it, but it's also this next level of expansion. And I do really feel strong. And every time I say it, I get goosebumps that 2023 is my year to build Asia. And that is a huge challenge for me. And, you know, it's a country, I don't understand any of the languages. I can't even read them. But I do feel half the world's population is there. So there's a lot more people I can help than, you know, staying focused in English speaking or more easily translated countries. So that's where I'm headed, and I'm almost clueless in the dark in it, but I'm excited about it. So
Wow, I didn't know you were the only woman going. I was getting like the power in the fact that you were standing in, you know, just the strength of your feminine power businesswoman. I didn't know you were the only woman going. So that is really exciting to me, because it's like it's just divine feminine in both the masculine and the feminine. And you know, just trust that, you know, the beautiful thing about the undefined throat with the defined head and ajna is that the inspiration is consistent, and the throat reaches all those people in the way they need to experience it. And no words, it doesn't, it's beyond language. And so you will reach them all. And so that is another, you know, a place that you can trust in that superpower. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I feel so blessed now. I want to hug you and kiss you and just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like, it's really just been amazing.
thank
And
you.
I love you.
Love you too. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.